Welcome to Willy's Wonderland. You spend the night cleaning Willy's Wonderland, and I will pay to have your car fixed. Deal? You are officially on staff. Let's get the hell out of here. I can't stand to hear a grown man scream.
This place has a dark history. I know the bullshit story they told you. It's a lie. You're here to be a human sacrifice. Have you been listening to a word I've been saying? He's gonna die in here, but he won't listen to me. It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun.
The machines got out. Nobody is safe. Put your balls on, Evan. We're going to Willy's.
He's not trapped in here with them. We're trapped in here with him. It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun. It's your birthday, so let's party.
It's birthday time.
I enjoy a man of few words.
Hello everybody, and welcome. Sorry, I'm doing this on my bed, so I have to get down to the mic level. Welcome to a movie review for a movie called Willy's Wonderland. For the next little bit here, and probably for a couple of days, I don't know how often or not, but there's several movies I want to review. So I'm probably going to review a bunch of movies upcoming here, just because well, yeah, it's kind of what I want to do, and they're easier to edit. It is not too complicated. So Willy's Wonderland, this movie I saw the trailer for randomly drop a couple months ago actually, and it stars Nicolas Cage, and he works at Willy's Wonderland. Well, he doesn't work at Willy's Wonderland. He runs over these spikes with his car, and his car is like deflated, which hopefully the trailer's still in. I'll put links to the trailers in the description and before if you want to go watch it. Descriptions, cards, stuff like that, in case you want to go watch it, in case it doesn't, if it gets flagged worldwide. It shouldn't, but anyway, hopefully not. So this guy makes him a deal. Well, I'll pay to fix your car if you spend a night cleaning Willy's Wonderland. And that's what the movie's about. He's inside Willy's Wonderland, and there's some other characters that didn't get introduced, but it's about surviving the night. It's kind of like Five Nights at Freddy's, in a way, except with Nicolas Cage. And fun fact, Nicolas Cage does not say a single word in this movie. He makes grunt noises and other sounds, but he does not say a single word. Now, I paid $24 for this film, because it's officially released now. It was available to rent for $20, and as far as I know, it didn't play in any theaters that I go to. I checked online. It played in a drive-in and played a couple of other places, but never played at any theaters that I would have gone to watch. So I watched this at home shortly before I'm making this review at 4:18 in the morning because, yeah, I'm crazy. But anyway, It was fun. It was entertaining. I don't know if a lot of people would want to pay $25 for a movie like this, to be completely honest, but we're here, and I have. So, yeah. All the actors, I think, did a good job. Nicolas Cage always has some surprising stuff in his movies that he acts in, and the fact that he doesn't speak in this one is good. It's interesting. There are some funny jokes. There really isn't any blood. There's a couple of blood instances, but most of the blood is oil because the animatronics are oil. That's how they get away with some brutal sequences, just through having oil fly all over the place. But it's a good movie. It's fun. It's not anything that I think would win an award or anything. Take that in mind. But it's really cool to see a movie like this. As we're waiting for the official Five Nights at Freddy's movie, this is hopefully, will be nothing like what the Five Nights at Freddy's movie is. I hope the Five Nights at Freddy's movie isn't just a body count movie. And this wasn't just a body count movie, but it kind of was. And you have stupid characters making stupid decisions. So, and this is an indie studio, by the way, that made this. This is not a big studio. But you also have, like, at one point, some kids fall through the ceiling. And then if you pay close attention later in the film, they do a wide shot of the same area, and the ceiling is not broken. Funny enough, they did not show the ceiling break at all. And that makes sense as to probably they didn't actually break through the ceiling. So it was just kind of a method to get them in the building, which is fine. It's not anything that's, terrible. It won't destroy your experience or anything. But, I mean, I'd say this is worth a watch. Maybe when it's available for rent for cheap. Or, because again, its renting price was $19.99 for a long time, and then its buying price right now is $23.99 or $24.99. One of the two. So it's a bit more expensive than the normal movies, but I'm sure it's because it's an indie studio, and the indie studio probably put a lot of effort into this movie, and they want to make sure that people pay them for it. Because, again, Nicolas Cage. I mean, I don't know how much Nicolas Cage got paid, but maybe that's how they got Nicolas Cage in a movie, is by, again, if you say words in a movie, I believe you actually have to pay the actors more. You can get away with, which might be why they didn't make him say actually any words. Surprisingly, some sequences of dialogue and such got away pretty good without him talking. I'm pretty solid, to be honest, about him not talking throughout the movie. But it was interesting. But again, as I was saying, I think that they can get away with that, because I believe I heard somewhere a long while ago that they actually do have to pay people more. Hold on, sorry, I'm moving my mic. For speaking lines. So the moment your character says a speaking line, you have to pay him more money. So that might be why they got away with working with Nicolas Cage. And also it's produced by Nicolas Cage, so I'm sure that had a factor in him being in the movie. Probably helped since he was producing it. So I'm sure it's fine in that front. But again, that's how they get away with some other characters. For example, in A Million Ways to Die in the West, Ryan Reynolds shows up in that movie, but he doesn't actually say any words. He also shows up in Ted 1 or Ted 2. I think Ted 2. One of the Teds. He's in one of the Teds. He might actually be in both of the Teds, but I don't believe he says anything. He's not on screen long, but that way they don't have to pay him more. I don't know if that's the reason why he doesn't speak in that movie. I don't even know if that's the reason why Nicolas Cage doesn't speak in this movie, but I'm sure that has a factor. A lot of times extras in movies won't say any words, because then if they do, they have to pay them more. It's a way of getting around being able to have more people in your movie but not pay them as much. So I'm sure that's what it was. It made for a good movie though. Still did, and he's like the main character, so he probably got paid a lot. Now, would I have wanted to... Would I have liked to see this in the theater? Yes, it's kind of hard to say if it would have been a good experience in the theater or not. But yes, I would have loved to see this in a theater. Now, I don't know if it hadn't been for this year, if this would have showed up in theaters, or if it would have been straight to digital release, or if they just figured that now would be the time to release this movie. I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe there's a chance that it could still show up at one of the theaters I go to, so I can go watch it there. But I highly doubt that. It seemed like it went to very, very select theaters. And they didn't send it to more, which is kind of weird. Maybe now that it's... Because, see, now it's available for buying, and on April, 4th or 5th, it'll be able to be rented. Once it's able to be rented, I don't see why you couldn't just throw it into theaters for a couple of weeks. You know what I mean? Because at this rate, if you were to do that, it's only bonus money, because the renting price has already been through and through. Anyone who's wanted to watch it for rent for a month has been able to. So, but plot-wise, I basically explained the plot. There's not much to say on that front. And again, it's more of an entertaining film than anything. I can't really give you any more details without spoiling the good parts, because the story isn't too complex. The story is fairly obvious, as I've already stated, and the trailer, I think, sums it up pretty well. I don't think the trailer actually really ruins... Sorry about my yawn. It is getting late. I don't think it ruins your experience of the movie in any fashion. There are some trailers that I don't think you should ever watch. And, for example, if I do... I know I talked about this in a previous review too, but The Little Things, for example. I will not play that trailer if I end up doing a Little Things review, because that trailer, I feel, does not do the movie justice, and I don't want to mislead people. So that's my kind of thing there. I tend to put the trailer as long as I don't think that it ruins the movie, or if I do, I throw it at the end and I say, hey, if you guys want to take your chance at watching the trailer, go ahead, but I'm not, if I don't recommend it. But this trailer, I don't think, doesn't really spoil anything, and there really isn't much to spoil. It's more about experiencing the kills, both people and animatronic, and just having a good time. I'd give this movie probably a 4 out of 5 or like an 8 out of 10. It was enjoyable. I don't know if it's just... I have no problem with the movie at all. The price was a little bit high. But again, probably... also I saw multiple prices, multiple places. Like on Microsoft's thing, it was $15. But over here on Vudu, which is where I got it, it was $23.99 or $24.99, one of the two. And I'm like, whoa, okay, that's kind of expensive. So why are they differing in prices? Well, for one, any movies that I can't get on Movies Anywhere, I buy on Vudu. And I do that on purpose because I feel it's more easily accessible on Vudu than Microsoft or another site would be. It's easier just for me to watch on there. So that's why I do that. But it was a little bit more expensive. Just be aware. If you're not really into Nicolas Cage, I'd wait until it goes on sale or rent it for a cheap price. Hopefully the rent price is like $5 and is not like $20. Hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully that all works out. But I think that most people would just enjoy this movie, and I think I saw a lot of reviews saying the price was too high, and it's like, yeah, that's what movies are doing nowadays. Willy's Wonderland was not the first movie to be like a $20 rental price tag. A lot of things have done that, and actually some movies, for example, Nobody, which I talked about more recently in a review, is not on renting yet. I'm sure it will be. I'm sure that when they release it digitally, it's going to start off as a $20 renting price, especially because they haven't made their money back. And then it'll go to buying, where you can buy it digitally. That just seems like something that Universal is going to do more often, is just throw movies like that onto renting. Maybe in theaters and renting for $20. They'll make money. Again, I don't see what the issue is there. That's better than what things like HBO Max are doing, where, for example, Godzilla vs. Kong, which is another movie I'd like to talk about. I have seen it. I'd like to talk about it. I was not interested in the movie, and I was pleasantly surprised. But anyway, movies like that, or Tom and Jerry, which Tom and Jerry actually did pretty well in theaters from my understanding. Not super well, but did pretty well. And yeah, but you have all these movies going into theaters, but then correspondingly going to HBO Max. And that's going to cut the theater's price down by half. But if you have forced a $20 rental fee, most people will probably still do that. But that's their choice. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I won't rent a movie for $20. The Willy's Wonderland's a perfect example. I bought it so that I can watch it whenever I want to, and not just rent it for like 2 days for $20. So, but anyway, that's about going to do it for this movie review. So I hope you guys enjoyed. again, I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. But you know, I tend to say watch the trailer. This movie is just one that you really can't describe all too well. I mean, I think I did the best I can describing it. It's a very entertaining movie, and there's blood, but there's also more oil than blood. But there's some cool things. I think it kind of makes fun of the genre as well. I mean, with Nicolas Cage's character directly too, being what character he is. Sorry, jeez. And I think it's cool. They do some things. I don't want to go too in depth because again, the experience and the jokes are kind of what sell this movie, and I don't want to go in and be like, oh well, this joke is super good and this joke is super good, because there's only so many in the movie. It's only an 82-minute movie, so it's really not that long. So, you know, it is what it is. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and keep an eye out for more movie reviews in the future. I have a couple I want to do. Some I might talk more in depth about, because a couple of them have some meaning to me, which I want to do. There's two I want to do on spring break, which I know that I'm not in school, so it's not really spring break for me. But for most of the world, it's like the week that people get off of school for spring break. So I want to try to do a couple of movies, like 2 movies. There's 3 movies I actually want to do, so the next 3 days might just be movie reviews. And I might do, I don't know, we'll see. Because I saw Godzilla vs. Kong, I want to do that, and then there's 2 others that I want to do. Which I might do Godzilla vs. Kong first, just because it's a newer movie, so people will probably be more interested in. The other 2 are actually several years old. So, but anyway, thank you again so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.